So,
Speaking about
what happens?
the Rohingya Muslims and the past and future. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And actually, there are 7 mosques there, and they are getting, no restrictions at all.
Yes.
So, the problem is with the granting of separate ethnic identity. If the Rohingyas would not have done that, what happened the day Kofi Annan submitted the report, the very same day, they actually, sabotaged the thing. Not the general Rohingyas, but certain extremist ethnic groups with links with Pakistan.
Yes. It
That
looks
is the
like,
problem.
yes. Yeah, that's
they
what
sabotaged
because
the
one
program, by attacking 16 police stations.
Oh, that was very wrong.
So that gave.
And what was the purpose of that? Was very suicidal and never. That became suicidal.
Suicidal. And in fact, that gave this man, the present, army dictator, Aung Lok, the real handle to suppress the Rohingya movement, and that also isolated, Aung San Suu Kyi. Aung San Suu Kyi was trying without really declaring it much to come to some kind of an understanding with the military so that their interests could be accommodated, because she was walking a very tightrope kind of thing, because she knew that if she tries to assert herself too much, she'll be thrown out, which had happened actually. Now, I think the Westerners also have to be made responsible for this problem, because at one time they made Aung San Suu Kyi an icon of democracy.
Yes.
Now, afterwards, when she didn't sing the song of the West, they started demonizing her, and that had really taken the leverage that she had within the political system. That she was, through a tightrope walking, she was trying to strike a balance with the military and then get as much leverage as possible in order to organize the ethnic sort of groups. But this small group, which were extremist in orientation, they sabotaged the program. And that gave the army
and they also say that I want independence, this group.
An excuse to throw the... What they have done is barbaric, because many of these people, they are innocent people, and they have been thrown out, and in Bangladesh also, they are not getting a good treatment.
No, that's why, I think the Persian general, he has called for repatriation. That repatriation will continue.
Now it is impossible, because now the thing has been drawn.
But I guess, the government of Myanmar, I think, because last time I read about the current general, that repatriation will continue. That means, it will continue. Those who wish to come back, they must come back. So
but come back on the terms of the military.
Right, means like the military means, military does not want them to. The military does not want to slaughter them.
That's right.
Military, they just want, I think, the government position as it is. Right. Like as you sir mentioned, that that remain as a minority. So what's the problem there? There's no problem. Why do you want independence unnecessarily? What is the reason? Because as everywhere, living, as it has been happening, for over centuries, we are living together everywhere. Boundaries are post-colonial only. Boundaries are post-colonial. So independence, as a matter of fact, has been very deadly for the many groups.
Right.
Sometimes I reflect that to a great extent, the British Empire, had brought in largest number of people under one crown. And it was, of course, there had been movements like as we had in India also, but to a great extent, they brought, although, some say that, that British were so vile for some reasons, but then British had enabled us to, it was due to the British that Subhash Chandra Bose, had a recruitment center in Shanghai.
Right.
How could this have been possible if British were not there?
True.
So British, as a matter of like sometimes I self feel that if you visualize Akhand Bharat, so British had brought the Akhand Bharat under one crown, which is not
The
possible.
British also played some positive role.
Very much
in India.
positive role, very much.
Because you see, now there is a trend that you try to undo anything that the British had done. But I think
Terrible.
an objective
But then
study.
that's just impossible.
Objective
Can you
studies
undo pants? Can you undo shirts?
That's true.
Can we go back to the dhotis only or kurta pajama only?
And many of these.
Or the kind of movement was made against Manchester. So what was that? That's what I asked the question. That was not that a violation of the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam declaration, which now is the motto of G20 nations.
True.
Now, because sir, in my research, I have I'm giving the name of the Karta of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. He is the descent, not the successor of Guru Brahm, known as Imam Abraham. So I trace back the entire Abrahamic lineage, Abrahamic Brahmin lineage. That all the four houses, Sanatana Dharma, Christianity, like Christianity as such, is like to me, like it's all Sanatana Dharmic Islamic narrative in a way. I slash Sanatana Dharma, oblique Islam. Because Prophet Abraham is common to us, Manu, known as Noah, is common to us, Adam, word, and Adam al-Islam is common to us, to all of us. Now it is about the acceptance of Kalki Naklanki. So that's what of course I was asking to Neeraj.
Actually, this
So Kalki
syncretic tradition had actually existed in Southeast Asia for many years. Even in India at one time. You see, I come from...
And sir, even now, basically villages like everywhere, you see here, there is a Muslim village. Like right in front of the temple, you have a Muslim graveyard is there. There is a down the line, there is a masjid also. And across the villages, you find composite population.
Right.
Composite population is part of Sanatana Dharma, or like I just say people of SC, some of them are accepting Buddhism.
See, main problem comes if you try to stress too much of your identity. The moment you are trying to press your identity,
level.
The problem comes.
Yeah, level.
Then
a particular level.
Find certain characteristics that these are my characteristics of my identity, and that separates me from other identities. That is where the real problem comes.
Correct.
You see, if you don't search for it, that's why I'm against this concept of identity politics.
Yes, very true,
because
sir.
It is the identity that really troubles all your sort of problems. Your assumptions of all your things come from that very concept of identity.
Right, sir.
And see, I come from eastern part of Bengal, and I lived in East Pakistan. We migrated much after the partition, and in my childhood, I still remember. I was a small boy at that time, but I still remember, the common cultural traditions that Hindus and the Muslims had in Bengal, and they were living quite sort of, friendly, and there was no trouble at all. It is only the politics that vitiated the atmosphere, and then they started talking about all these problems.
Right.
You see, I remember we came in 1954, and my father, although initially he was in the British, the military account service, but he was a very proud person in the sense that he didn't, he somehow managed to survive for about 10 years in that service. But later on, he fell foul with his senior officer and just threw the paper on his face, left the job, came and established, the school was already there, but he became